Are you a hyper alpha Giga Chad lone wolf sigma male without any friends, but you still want to get your hands on the new prayers in order to bridge the mid game until you're ready for Chambers of Xeric? If the answer is yes, then look no further. This is the guide for you. The Royal Titans are a pair of ice and fire giant bosses located in the Asgarnia Ice Dungeon. There is the Fire Giant Queen Branda and the Ice Giant King Eldrick. There are no requirements to access or fight them, and they can be both fought in a duo as well as in solo. Challenging the Titans in a duo is substantially easier, faster, and less cancerous, but this guide is for my lone wolf sigma males and for people with poor social skills, so therefore we'll be focusing on a solo, budget-friendly, mid-level iron approach. Prior to acquiring the Giant Soul Amulet, a unique drop from the bosses which can be used to teleport directly to the encounter, the suggested route to reach the Titans is to take the Ferry code AIQ to Mudskipper Point and then run to the Asgarnia Ice Dungeon. After entering the dungeon, players must run north past the Pirate Smugglers and then west. Alternatively, players with 60 agility can use the shortcut directly west of the entrance. The focus of this boss encounter is mainly to help mid-level players get accustomed to gear switching, and as such, my recommended gear is a hybrid setup similar to the following. Personally, I'm using full Eclipse and Blood Moon, and then 3 pieces of magic gear that provide magic damage bonuses. The bosses are both weak to crush, so prioritize your best crush gear. For parts of the encounter, you will not be able to reach the bosses with melee, so I recommend a ranged weapon that is reasonably fast and accurate. Blowpipe or Hunter's Sunlight Crossbow are also good options if you don't have Eclipse. For magic, you will want to bring runes for both water and fire spells to clear walls and kill the minions. You can also just tank the minions, but it's much better to kill them in my opinion. Just make sure that your magic damage and accuracy is high enough that you don't splash, and you should one-shot kill all the minions. Here are the current stats on my Iron Man. These bosses are still feasible if your stats and gear are slightly worse than mine, just expect kills to take a little bit longer to finish. For recommended plugins, I would suggest using the Monster HP Percentage plugin, which shows the monster's HP on their model, and that's helpful here because different things happen at different health thresholds within the encounter. Secondly, I would recommend using the Prayer plugin with Never Hide Prayer Flick Helper enabled, which is useful if you want to one-tick flick to conserve prayer points and extend your trips. When the fight begins, Branda and Eldrick will be in melee distance at the center of the arena. A player can attack them once before they walk out of melee distance. While at range, the Titans will conjure ice and fire walls. In order to dispel a wall, the player must cast the spell of the opposing element on it, meaning water spells on fire walls and fire spells on ice walls. Once 100 damage has been dealt to one of the Titans, i.e. around 83% health, both Titans will begin summoning elementals. During these phases, the Titans can only be attacked with ranged or magic and deal no direct damage. The elemental minions can be killed with their opposing elemental spells similar to the walls, water spells on fire elementals and fire spells on ice elementals. For faster kills, you can ignore them, as Protect from Melee will protect you against their standard attacks, but their AoE explosion damage will still hit through prayer, so I recommend killing them. Periodically, the Titans will return to melee distance where they will use their Stomp attack. This can be defended against by using Protect from Melee, and they will also occasionally conjure ice and firewalls during these phases. In many circumstances, you can just ignore the walls, but sometimes they'll be placed precariously and you might want to cast spells on them to get rid of them. When one of the Titans reaches 200 health, or around 33%, the fight will transition to the final phase, with both Titans moving into the walkable area. The wiki suggests to try to force one of the Titans below this threshold as soon as possible, as this will pin them in place and stop them from making walls. However, I find this final phase to be cumbersome to deal with, as you constantly have to run around the room, switch gear, kill elementals, and I find it easiest in solos to get both Titans as close to 200 health as possible before initiating this final phase. In this final phase, the Titans will now use the following attack rotation: Elemental Swirl, Summon Elementals, Stomp, and then repeat. During the Elemental Swirl attack, you need to stand on the safe swirling tile before the timer runs out, or else you'll take large damage very quickly. You can also try to lure any elementals to their opposing side before the swirl attack starts to kill them when it does begin. You can do this to either set of elementals, but oftentimes I find it easier and quicker just to manually kill them myself. Try to balance both the Titans' health, leaving them around 40 hit points or so before choosing to defeat one. If one of the Titans is defeated before the other, the remaining Titan will continue the aforementioned attack pattern, but now the safe tile for the elemental swirl attack will be out in Narnia on the farthest side of the arena. Once both Titans' HP hit 0, you have your first completion. Congratulations. I'll include a full kill at the following timestamp shown on screen now. If you spoon one of the new prayers or a staff piece, you have to come back to this video, like it, and subscribe to the channel. For my dear viewers who are curious and anxious regarding the status of my Iron Man series, I have taken a step back from content creation, and really from gaming too in general, in order to pursue IRL stuff. The series is still ongoing, but I've been prioritizing playing on my main account and doing the hard things that I've been putting off. The Inferno Cape grind is still, ongoing, but the quiver is out of the way, and soon I'll be trying to learn hard mode Tob as well as solo chambers of Xeric. I could probably make some videos on these topics if there's an interest in it. Otherwise, there's still more Iron Man content to come, but videos are coming out even slower than before. Sorry for the rant, here's the example kill. Good luck, and may RNG be with you. Alright, here is an example kill walkthrough on my Iron Man. As you can see, my gear is pretty realistic for most mid-game players. No Bofa, and certainly no Scythe or Inquisitor Mace or anything crazy. Similar for supplies, I've got really basic food, no access to Ceradome and Brews, combat pots, or ranging pots yet. If you have these, it'll be even easier for you. Also, I'm still low KC, and this is on release day, so if anything changes regarding the content, I will pin a comment to address it. I'm going to mute my mic now to focus up. Please feel free to comment if you have any questions. And there we go. Around a 4.5 minute kill. Not very many supplies used. Are we lucky? We're not lucky. Realistically, I can probably get maybe 3 or 4 kills per trip. So yeah, that's not bad at all. Subscribe.